Hey there, Darkstar here. Got a new plane available in career mode, so we're going to give it a shot. It's the Partenavia P68. So it is available for charter services private level missions. So we're over here near Italy. In Italy, I guess. Gonna leave. And the servers are acting up tonight, so let's see how this goes. Okay, we're at LIMP. Yeah, see, it's pretty slow. So I have not flown this plane yet at all. We're getting a lot of audio crackling too. I wonder why that is. CPU is not high. Weird. Okay, well, so 18, so we don't want to go real high here. Let's just go to, say, 9. And let's just double check our airfields are okay here. Oh, that is short. Okay. I don't know, for a plane I've never flown before. Well, what's the worst case? We crash, right? Okay. Leaving a big airport. Okay, let's sell off some fuel so we're not quite as heavy. I did run this plane on crew for a little bit so I could get the repair costs and the all that. So I've got my spreadsheets all updated. I'll try and remember to put a link to those in the video if I post it. Those are coming along pretty nicely now. I watched some videos of this plane. It's pretty neat, but I don't think this model in game is going to be as cool as the videos. Really? Okay, the door doesn't seem to be working. It's kind of odd. Okay, we'll just shift C to get in here. So, having never seen this plane before, maybe we should use the checklists. But we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to wiggle these, because that's a problem on some planes. And we're gonna make sure these are set to tank. Engine shut off. Cross feed. I wonder what on does. I'm assuming tank means just pull from your tank. Cross feed means feed to the other one. Both. Right tank to both engines. Huh. I don't know. Let's try tank.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've started boarding, so feel free to step aboard.
Alright, let's see if we have checklists. Checklists. Pre-flight. We did that, we did that, we did that. Everything else is
Ladies and gents, I wish you a good flight on behalf of First Class Wings.
Good afternoon, Captain. I thought First Class Wings took better care of its planes, but this one is filthy. Not up to standards I remember. They mentioned at the gate that the network would be available throughout the flight. I need it for some important calls, Captain. So please make sure not to cut off my connection without notifying me.
Yeah, no connection for you. Okay, all systems off. We'll just assume that. We'll get to the altimeter. Fuel pump left and right off. Okay, alternate air off. Throttle. Okay, so let's put the throttle in a little bit. Prop lever full aft. Mixture 1, 2 to cut off. Okay, we've got those. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, we did those. Okay, battery on. There we go. There's a battery. Master battery on. Okay, where might we check fuel quantity? There we go. A little more than half a tank. Battery off. Okay, well, I'm going to leave the battery on. There we go, battery on. Generator 1 and 2 on. Are those the ones next to it? Yep. Okay. Anti-collision lights on. I'm guessing those are going to be down here. We probably want beacon and nav. Okay, that's the beacon one. Left magneto on. That's going to be one of these. Okay. Oh. Okay, those are like that. Okay, that's on my switch. Auxiliary fuel pump on the left anyway. Mixture rich. So that's going to be that one. And actually what we want to do is I want to put this up and then mouse these back, and we're going to do that one up. Okay. Starter engage. I think that's the starter button. Oh, it's a, and then to lean. Okay, whoops. Well, I did that one wrong. Shoot. So forward and then to lean. Right magneto on. I think we've already got it on. And then the fuel pump off. Okay. Repeat on engine 2. Okay, so the magnetos are already on. We want to get the fuel pump on. And then we want to... Here comes the right engine. Oil. Okay, so it's a little cold right now coming up.
Tower, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 Tree, IFR to Echo Delta Delta Oscar, ready to copy.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 Tree is cleared to Echo Delta Delta Oscar Airport via the MSP7 Whiskey departure. Expect runway 20, maintain 9,000 feet. Departure frequency is 124.925, squawk 1656.
Cleared to Echo Delta Delta Oscar via the MSP7 Whiskey departure, runway 20, maintain 9,000 feet. Departure frequency is 124.925, squawk 1656, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 Tree.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 Tree, read back is correct. Contact ground on 118.45 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Good afternoon, pilot. You guest today is Mr. Rohn, who's on the go to Bergberg in Algaw. He's close to one of our top clients who booked the flight for him. Please give him your warmest welcome on behalf of the company. Have a good flight, Captain.
Ground, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 Tree, ready to taxi, IFR. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 Tree, taxi to and hold short of runway 20 via taxiway Alpha Cross runway 02 Charlie. Contact tower on 118.45 when ready. Taxiing, hold short runway 20 using taxiway Alpha Cross runway 02 Charlie, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 Tree.
Okay, in the early reports there was some issues with the glass on the instruments. That seems to be okay now. So that's good. gonna need to do a couple of flight control checks here. We'll do those in a minute. Oh, they misspelled it here. Alternate air, okay. Well, when I get these on. Alright, so unfortunately, since it's the first time I'm using this, I think we also need to do some controls. I need to try the beta and see how their performance is. Okay, I'm using that one for everything now. I think that is correct. This one may not matter much because I don't really use any of the buttons, but that's okay. This is what wasn't working, but it should be. And yes, I have a throttle here and the throttle coil and the flight yoke and the stick. It's fun. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything. So why is trim not working? Whoa. Yeah, it's not working. Huh. Well, that is annoying. Let's see if this one's working. Nope. Sounds like a helicopter. So no sound modulation from the little portal being open there. That should have come off. Okay, fuel's good. So we did get the plane started at least. ADF transponder. We don't have a book or anything here, do we? Nope. Okay, throttle works.
Ladies Ladies and gents, good afternoon, and welcome aboard this first-class wings flight to Berg im Allgäu. I'm your captain and pilot today. Estimated flight time is 64 minutes. We're on time for departure, waiting for takeoff clearance. I'll keep you informed during the flight if anything important comes up. Thank you. Tower, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 tree ready for IFR departure, runway 20.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 tree, Kunch 1019er. Cleared for takeoff runway 20.
Cleared for takeoff runway 20, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 tree. Good afternoon, ladies and gents. This is your captain speaking. On behalf of First Class Wings, I would like to welcome you on board flight DSC 2713 bound for Berg im Allgäu. Estimated flight time to Berg im Allgäu is 64 minutes. To prepare for takeoff, please ensure your seat belt is fastened tightly, your seat is in the upright position, and your tray table is securely stored. Thank you and get ready for a wonderful flight.
So if nothing else, you can use this for your taxi speeds, although we're on the runway now, so it shouldn't ding us, but... I'm also wondering how prop RPM affects taxi speed. Okay, yeah, it's slowing us down. I'd say the sounds need work. Okay, let's get here for starters. So one thing I don't know is, does this plane have an autopilot? And can you send the flight plan to avionics? Apparently not. Alright, so let's get our landing lights on, taxi, we'll leave taxi lights on, strobes on, pitot heat on, and we'll do window heater. Yeah, we're not going to need, actually let's even turn that off. Okay, we're we're gonna have trouble with the trim because no trim controls seem to be working. Alright, so we're gonna take off. We're gonna make a right turn and head up. I guess climbing up over the mountains. We'll see what we get for clearance. I'm thinking fixed gear. Okay, let's go ahead and go flaps up.
Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 contact Milan Center on 124.925. Good day.
124.925. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 tree.
Okay, gonna pull the throttle back a bit and the prop RPM. Okay, trim seems to be working. That's good. It just wasn't animated. For grand, let's try autopilot. There apparently is an autopilot. That would appear to set the course. What happens if we go heading mode? No matter which way you pull this, this goes that one way. It'll kind of briefly go the other way. Well, not now. I'm guessing that's supposed to be the heading bug, I don't know. There's some kind of autopilot thing going on, but I don't think this plane actually has an autopilot. It seems to be some residual autopilot. I don't know. gonna sim rate here. We'll see how it hand flies in high sim rates. So that's 4x. Go back to 4x. I did a little rudder trim because it was pulling to the left.
Yes, it's a do. I'm on my way. Just calling to confirm I'll be there in just over 61 minutes. The flight shouldn't take long, so don't start without me.
Still got to get to 9,000 here. Here comes 9,000. Whoops.
Ladies and gents, glad to be your captain today. First, I'd like to welcome everyone on behalf of First Class Wings on Flight DSC 2713. We are currently cruising at an altitude of 9,200 feet and an airspeed of 100 knots. It's 4:46 p.m. and are expecting to land in Berghem, Allgäu approximately at 5:21 p.m. local time. Current temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit. If the weather cooperates, we should get a great view of the area as we descend. I'll update you before we reach our destination. Until then, sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the flight.
Alright, we're just going to sim right here. I do have ATC parked, waiting for us. Let's try 8x and 16x. Now that went pretty well. let's get set up to monitor. Okay, we are. So right now we're at 2x, 4x, 8x, 16x.
Everything okay? Everything is ready for the arrival? Fine, can't wait. See you there, bye.
Slow down a little bit. We need to start descending here. Glad the trim actually works, even though the animation wasn't working. Okay, we need to figure out if we're landing on 18 or 360.
Center, Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 tree is passing 5,200 feet, climbing 9,000 feet. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 tree. Unix Center, QNH 1022. Radar contact, continue. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 tree. Reset transponder. Squawk 1656. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 tree. You can cancel IFR. Continue VFR to your destination. Delta Sierra Charlie 271 tree. Cancel IFR at this time. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 tree. IFR flight plan is canceled. Radar service terminated. Squawk 7000. Maintain VFR. Frequency change approved. Good day. Ladies and gents, Agatha Zell Airfield has just cleared us for landing. Please take a moment to check that your seat belt is fastened as we are starting our descent. Thank you. Echo Delta Delta Oscar traffic. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 tree, 2 miles northwest, 3,700 feet, inbound to land, runway 18. Echo Delta Delta Oscar traffic.
Start getting some flaps out. Prop RPM all the way up.
Delta Oscar traffic. Summit Delta Sierra Charlie 271 tree is on final. Runway 18 to land. Echo Delta Delta Oscar traffic.
Weirdly floaty. I don't know how we're going to turn around without a violation here. We're going to have to go manual throttle. Yeah, it's not going to do it. Does not have a good turning radius. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay.
Ladies and gents, welcome to Agatha Zell Airfield. Local time is 4:59 p.m. For your safety, the captain has requested that you remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until we come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Please make sure you take all your belongings with you when you get off. On behalf of the entire company, we would like to thank you for choosing first-class wings. We look forward to seeing you again, and wish you a pleasant stay in Bergberg im Allgäu.
Birdberg. Alright, it's just a mixture, so that'll kill it right there. Well, not great, but oosh. It's gonna kill my climb to S tier. Yeah, not too bad. There's our passive income, so collecting passive income data, so I'll get that. We also got the Marchetti. Alrighty, there we go. Maiden Voyage. Thanks for joining.